Hello, everyone, and welcome to Humber Polytechnic. My name is Risha Tony, and it's a pleasure to have you here with us today. Just a quick note that we are live. We do have a special guest that is going to be joining us today. If you do have questions and it's live, please feel free to ask them in the live chat. We do have some of our supports or some of our staff that are here to answer those questions. And if you're watching the recording, please also feel free to ask your questions in the chat as well. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a presentation on starting your journey at Humber. And as mentioned, my name is Risha Tony. And I actually want to get started on when we're thinking about a journey and when I'm discussing, programs and presentations and post-secondary with students. At times, there is a thought that it's an event and it's really a journey. So with that, I'm actually wanting to start this presentation by talking about the admissions roadmap. But before I do, just a little bit about Humber. Humber is actually one of the largest polytechnics in Canada. We have over 30,000 full-time students across 3 campuses. So in the background, you will actually be seeing our Lakeshore campus today, but we do have 3 campuses. We have our North campus, which is at Highway 27 in Finch in Etobicoke. We have our Lakeshore campus, which is at Kipling and Lakeshore, and we have our downtown International Graduate Studies campus as well. So lots of options to choose from, over 300 programs for you to choose from, many different credentials, which I'll get into a little bit later on. But first, I actually wanted to start with the admissions roadmap, because I think this is really an opportunity for you to check and see what options are available for you, what needs to be done before you actually get started in a program at Humber or elsewhere. So to get started, you can see there's 10 steps. So we have research programs, apply to Humber, track your application, receive your offer, confirm your offer, pay, deposit and tuition, balance, next steps, register for class, attend orientation, and you've arrived. And this is where we want you to be. So right now, most of you are probably here on step 1, right? Some of you know exactly what it is that you want to do, and some of you have absolutely no idea. And that's okay. So if you're not sure what you want to study, we have something called the Humber Career Finder. You fill it in, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes, and it generates programs that might be a really good fit for you. We also have the ability to research different programs. You also have the ability to do program advising, and you also have the opportunity to visit us in person. And I'll speak a little bit more about these pieces as we're going through. So I'm going to close this for now. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go to the the main Humber page. So this is just humber.ca. And what I'm going to go to do here is to talk about about the programs, right? So we'll get into the programs. But before we get into the programs, I actually wanted to talk about the credentials, because one of the things with the Polytechnic and one of our strengths is the ability for us to allow students to move from one credential to another. Now, this is great. It's a great opportunity for students, but at times they may be a bit confusing because the question is, well, which option is the right one for me, right? So we have apprenticeships. So if you're thinking of your traditional apprenticeship programs, such as electrical, being an electrician, you can become a plumber. Those are just like you can go into cooking, for example, or culinary. So these are just some ideas of some apprenticeship programs. Apprenticeships can be 2 to 5 years in length. We have diplomas and certificate programs. So certificates can be from about 8 months in length to about a year. Most certificate programs, you're looking at foundation programs. You're looking to build your studies, or you're looking to gain knowledge to then move on to another program. However, we do have some certificate programs where you can actually do a 4-month course. So an example of that would be emergency telecommunications. And after your 4 months, you can actually go out and start working. So lots of opportunities there as well. And a diploma is usually about 2 years. So some examples of diploma programs that we have include paramedic, we have social service worker, we have the culinary management program, fashion management, paralegal, HVAC technician. So lots of diploma programs. And then we also have some 3-year advanced diploma programs. So some examples of those would be our sport management or electromechanical engineering, the 3-year program, the technologist program, or you might be looking at, I'm trying to think of another 3-year program. So business administration, for example, is a 3-year program as well. Next, we have our degrees. So a question that I get a lot from students, from parents. One, degrees. Colleges are now offering degrees. Yes, we are. Now, the second piece is, well, what is the difference between a college degree or a polytechnic degree and a university degree? And the answer is, for the most part, both degrees are the same. One major difference is that, or I'll give you a few. So one of the major differences is that all of our degrees are very specific and they're targeted towards an industry. So our programs are not general. So sometimes a student might come up to me and say, I'm interested in psychology, or I'm interested in business, I'm interested in life sciences or health. Those are more subjects, not specific programs, at least not at a college. Because when you're looking at a program with us, at a degree program with us, or any of our diplomas or certificates, when you're looking at those programs, you're looking at something very, very specific. So for example, if you're thinking of psychology, a program that you could potentially do at Humber would be addictions and mental health, for example, or behavioral sciences. If you're thinking of life sciences, we have the Bachelor of Nursing, we have the workplace health and wellness, we have the biomedical science. If you said I like business, well, we have 10 BComs. Which one, right? So we have, for example, international business, supply chain management. We have human resources, marketing, accounting. The great thing about the BComs is that the first year is the same, and I'm speaking as a former business business degree graduate, that not students who are interested in business, not always sure which area of business they want to specialize in. So with our BComs, you have the ability to do 1 year. It's the same for all the BComs. You can go into one, for example, healthcare management, and if you want to stay there, you can. And if you want to actually switch, you can. And you're not losing any time, you're not losing any money. If you're interested in media, we have programs such as user experience design, creative advertising. We have the only bachelor of contemporary music, basically in the country. It's really well known around the world as well. And if you're interested in engineering, we actually have 3 engineering degrees that you can choose from. So again, you can see like they're very specific, right? So the one of the other aspects where our degrees are different is that there's a mandatory placement. So at times when you're going into a co-op program at a university, you have to compete for that co-op. So you have to actually maintain a certain average to go into that co-op. With a degree at a college or at a polytechnic, every degree, it's mandatory for you to have a placement. It is mandatory for you to have that placement. So we are forcing you to gain experience, which is what most employers want. Employers do not want to train people anymore. They want to be able for you to come to them and have that experience and not have a lot of training, because training takes time and takes money. A lot of our students, through that placement or work co-op, or like a work experience that is mandatory, a lot of our students are actually finding their first job through that placement as well. Something else, and not all degrees, obviously, but another aspect of this is sometimes cost as well, right? So at times, for example, our engineering degrees might be about a $7,000 to $8,000 per year at a polytechnic, but at a university, it might be about $12,000. So these are all things to look at. One of the things I also say to ask students as well is like, well, if you're going into the first year of a life sciences program, for example, your biology course, how many students do you think will be in that program? And sometimes they're not sure. I've actually been on panels and presentations with my other colleagues, and one person said they actually had about 500 people in their first year class, right? And someone else, you're like, well, you had 500 people. I was in a room of 500 and a screen, sorry, I was in a room of 500 and a screen came down. I was expecting my professor, but instead of my professor, it was a screen. My professor was in a room of like another 100,000 students presenting, and I was just watching my professor on a screen. So again, our classroom sizes, the maximum most students are going to be going into is about 60, right? You're in a classroom of 60 people. You're going to know your professors. You're not working with TAs, you're working directly with them. So there's so many different opportunities, so many different reasons why a polytechnic, and again, reasons why to choose Humber. So high employment rate after 6 months of the GTA colleges, 84% graduate employment rate as well in the greater GTA. So one of the things I actually wanted to take you through are our programs. And but not just the programs, but how to navigate the website. So this is the program search. As you can see, to get to that, I went up to programs, I clicked on full-time domestic, and it brought up our list. So this actually has a lot of functionality that you can utilize to help you with your research. So for example, you can search by availability, right? Instead of by A to Z. So this will say, for example, it's defaulted to to winter 2025. So if you're thinking of starting in January, this shows you the programs that are still open. It shows you the programs that are closed and what's available. You can search from A to Z. So if you just wanted to go down to see the types of programs we have and when they're starting, you can. You can search by pathways. So we have the pathways module that's here as well, and I'll get into that a little bit later. You can also search by comparison. So this actually gives you the ability to compare programs. So for example, say you're interested in nursing. I'm going to be putting in practical nursing here. But what's the difference? So we have the diploma, which is the practical nursing, and then we also have the degree. What is the difference, right? So you can see here we have the Bachelor of Science of Nursing, second entry, and then we also have a bridge. So you can actually use this to compare. And if we go down, you can see, okay, well, this is a diploma, this is an honors degree, this is 4 semesters, which means the 2-year program, this is 8 semesters. It gives you an overview about the programs, but it also gives you information about the admission requirements, right? It gives you information about the admission requirements, and you can see that the admission requirements are going to be different, right? Because this is a diploma, this is a degree, right? Placement opportunities. If we're talking about fees and scholarships, it gives you that as well. You can see the difference in fees and scholarships. It gives you the curriculum. And again, so I'm showing you all of this, but if you just wanted to sort of click on, say it's just the credential, you can sort of just hone in on that. If you just wanted to hone in on the length of the program, you can. So it gives you that ability to really compare and contrast at least 2 programs at a time. So I'm going to go back to the A to Z section here. So you can see it gives you the program names, it gives you the credential, the length of the program, the location. You can actually on this page as well, instead of having to go in, you say you're interested in a program, instead of having to go in to the admission requirement, what you would do, let's just click on this program here. You can click into it and you will find the admissions requirements here. But what we've done is that we have actually made it so that you can actually just, as you're scrolling through, well, addictions and mental health, what's the requirement here? This is advertising media management. What's the requirement here, right? You can actually click through and see what that is before having to click into the program. And some people love searching by the program code, so that's there as well. The location tells you where it's located. So is it north? Is it Lakeshore campus? Is it online? Does it have twilight hours? So all of these things are sort of the way different things you can use to research and learn more about our programs. Okay, so I'm going to click into one of these programs now, and I'm going to click into 3 different programs. I'm going to click into a diploma program or an advanced diploma program, similar requirements. I'm going to click into a degree program, and I'm going to click into a grad cert program. So one of the things I can do, I can use the credential search to search by the credential I want to search by. So let's actually do an advanced diploma, for example. So these are all of our advanced diplomas, all right? As you can see, there's 24 of them. So if we go into, I'll start with this one. I'll just start with business administration to get started. So let's look at the program page, okay? And the program page is going to be the same for all. So I'll just do an overview of that, and then I'll go into the admission requirements. So at the top of the page, you're going to see the program code, the type of credential it is, the start dates, how long it is, program standards, learning outcomes, which is great, pathways, and you can also share and download this. This information over here, right now, we are speaking about this domestic programs and domestic admissions. But if you wanted to learn more about international in Canada or international out of Canada, you can choose those as well. It gives you the start dates for the 2024-2025 application cycle, which we're currently in, but it also gives you information about the future application cycle, so 2025 to 2026. And it tells you if the program is open, if it's not available, if it's been suspended, if it's course-based, if it's block-based, it gives you that information. As you scroll down, you would see this on all of the program pages. So we are running a promotion called Apply in Us. If you are thinking of applying to Humber, you definitely need to fill this out. So you fill this in, tell us a little bit about yourself. And if you do end up coming to Humber, we will actually give you back the application fee. So the application fee to Ontario colleges, and I was going to talk a little bit more about that later on, but the application fee is $150. You would pay that, you would apply to Humber. If you're with us next September, mid-September, you would automatically get that one, you will be getting that $150 back, say by the end of September, early October. So that's a great incentive to connect with us. What we usually recommend is to use the same email address you plan to use on Ontario colleges, so we can match that information together. But you can see it's a very simple form. You click on it, you fill it in, and you're eligible. So you need to have filled out this form, apply and been accepted to Humber, and be here mid-September next year, so around like the 17th or so, and you would have qualified to get that $150 back. Okay, so as we scroll down, you will see this gives you an overview of the program. You can click on the courses. It tells you the courses by semesters, right? You can see here, so some of these are electives, for example. Some of these are core courses, general elective courses. It also, if you click on one of these courses, so if you're like, well, what is PC Business Essentials? If you click on it, it actually gives you information about that specific course. Okay, it tells you work integrated learning. So an example would be co-op or work placement or field experiences. It will tell you if that program has it. It will tell you about some of the advantages at Humber and why you should choose it. It tells you about your career and specific programs you might be able to go into or careers you might be going to go into. So for example, merchandising manager, product manager, budget analyst. And it also tells you about professional accreditations and recognition, and also related programs. So say, for example, you've completed this program and you want to go into a grad cert, you can potentially do this. And then it gives you other options as well. Now, if we go back to up to the top, we have the option of upcoming events. So for example, book a tour, open house, mature and transfer student info sessions, which we have a few of those happening. It has a news feed. But on the left-hand side is, I think, the most important part of each program page. So on the left-hand side is where you're going to see how to apply. It gives you information on that. It gives you admission requirements, right? So this is the admission requirements. Fees and financial aid. It tells you how much it's going to be how much it will cost for domestic fees, international fees. It gives you a breakdown. It gives you information about, and for each semester, about scholarship information here as well. So there's lots of really good content on the website, and then contacting us. So if you wanted to contact the program coordinator, domestic inquiries, if you wanted to book a campus tour, those are all here. And most importantly, if you're looking to apply, the great thing the great thing about this is that it takes you specifically to the program page at Ontario colleges or at Humber. So this will actually remember that this was the Humber Business Administration program that you were on, and will actually take you to that specific program. And once you create an account, it will actually, you will have that account available, and you'll be able to not that account, that program will be there. So that program code 02511 will be there, and you won't have to search for it. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is admission requirements. So if you are coming from high school and you're under 18, you already have an OSSD or over 18. So you have an OSSD and you're under 18. So English, what we're looking for this program is English, grade 12 English, 4C or 4U or equivalent, grade 12 math, right? And we have the math requirements there. It could also be grade 11 URM math, and then we also have two other courses. Okay, so when we say C, it's college or diploma level course, mixed, or university or degree level course. If you're a mature student, so that means for us, you're over 19, maybe you haven't completed high school, but you're at least over 19. What we'll be looking for is those two specific courses that we've listed, so English and math. Okay, we're not looking for the other two courses, we'll be looking for English and math. Now, if you're a college or university transfer applicant, what we'll be looking for is an English equivalent and a math equivalent. So say you've completed an English at your previous post-secondary institution, you can use that. If it's a math, we can use that as well. And if you don't have it, for example, at your college or university, we can then look at your high school. Okay, so what we usually recommend for college and university applicants is to always submit all of your documents. So whether that's you've gone to university or college, so that we'll be able to assess and we'll actually choose whatever the top course is going to be from your transcripts. Okay, so next I'm going to choose a degree program. So I'm going to go back to credential. And again, you don't have to do this, obviously, but I'm going to choose a bachelor's degree. And I'm going to go for this one. I'm going to go for behavioral science as an example. So this again is a degree, similar setup. You can take a look at the courses as well. This is going to be an 8-semester program, not a 4-semester or 6-semester program. The question is it a real degree? Yes, it is. Is it an honors degree? Yes, it is, because it is a 4-year degree. And then let's actually look at the admission requirements. So you're going to see they're going to be different, again, because it's a degree. There are some misconceptions out there that if it's a degree at a polytechnic or at a college, that you need college level courses. That is not correct. You do need the U level credits U and M level credits to qualify for a degree or direct entry into a degree. So again, if you're looking at this, you need an OSSD or equivalent. And then for this program, we're looking at English for you or equivalent, minimum of 65%, 5 grade 12 UNM courses in addition to those listed above. Okay, overall minimum grade point average of 65%. Now, if you're a mature student and for degree purposes at Humber, that means you're 21 years or older, the only thing we're going to be looking at is in English. If you're in a business program, we're looking at English and a math. If you're in, say, a science-related program, it might be English, math, chemistry, biology. So whatever those core courses, those specific courses we're looking for, that's what we'll need. And the same thing with college university transfer students. Again, we're not looking for additional courses. With degrees, you do have to tell us about every studies you've done in the past, right? So if you've done a course at one college, you've completed a degree at a university, and now you're coming back to Humber to complete a degree, we need to know of all the things that you've done in the past. You need to self-identify those. It's full disclosure. You need to disclose all that information. And what we'll actually do, again, if for this program, we're only looking for an English, so we might actually find that on your university transcript. Or for example, if it's a competitive program and you submit your university transcripts and your high school transcripts, we'll use whatever the highest is, as long as the high school credit is a U level credit. Okay. When it comes to English proficiency, we have an English proficiency policy here, and then we also have the credential evaluation. And again, this is on all of the program pages. Okay, so I'm going to go back, and finally I'm going to go and we're going to look at a graduate certificate program. Okay, so an Ontario graduate certificate. And the reason I wanted to bring this up because it's going to be different, right? So let's look at this one here. So this is forensic identification. Again, very, very similar, but if we go into the admission requirement, you will see that with a graduate certificate, we're looking for something else. We're looking for a bachelor's degree, advanced diploma, or equivalent. So a graduate certificate is for somebody who've already completed something else, right? So you've completed something and you actually want to say, for example, you've gone on and gone to university, you've done an English degree. Now you're thinking, you know what, I want to do something a little bit more specific. So you can come and within a year, you can actually train to become like a professional, whether in forensic identification or if it's an HR specialist, or if it's an insurance management specialist, or you like we have different grad certs that you can choose from, and you can actually get trained on how to be this professional within 1 year. Okay, so again, some programs are going to be very specific, whereas like this is just general, where if you're going into like a, let's say, for example, a health sciences related program, you might have to have something specific to health sciences as a degree, diploma, or advanced diploma potentially. So it's always good to not assume you know it, to actually go into the program page and actually check what those requirements are, or on the search page. Okay, so just a few more pieces. We talked about the pathway, the be able to pathway from a program to another. So you can actually search to see what pathways are available at Humber. So pathways meaning that you can go from one program to another. So you can see you can come from any recognized post-secondary institution, right, with a bachelor's degree, advanced diploma in computer science, computer programming, to go into a cyber security and intelligence program. But what if you are looking, you can say, for example, I'm a Humber graduate and I've taken the business accounting 2-year program, and I want to know what my pathways are. You can actually see what those pathways are. So you can see that's the Humber Bachelor of Commerce, but you can also see all the other options that are available to you, including an LLB. So you can actually get a pathway into an LLB. Okay, so like like a law degree, basically, from your 2-year diploma. Okay. But say, for example, you're interested, you say, you know what, I'm interested in, let me just choose one randomly. I'm interested in Bachelor of Child and Youth Care, right? But what diploma, well, like what programs can I use to pathway? Because maybe I don't have the U credits, I don't have the grades. What can I use? This is a reverse search. So this is to this program, the Bachelor of Child and Youth Care, and this shows you all the different diplomas that pathway into that degree. And these ones highlighted are from Humber, but you can see from all the colleges and universities as well. Okay. We have pathways to Ontario graduate certificate. So if you wanted to find those out, so you have a 2-year diploma, 3-year diploma, a bachelor's degree, you can actually check to see, okay, well, what options do I have when it comes to grad certs? And it will display it. And there's also pathways to masters. So Humber has these agreements with masters, with other universities for master's opportunities. And Humber, we are looking to get our own master's programs in the future. But if, for example, one of the ones I really love is this one, is architectural technology. So from architectural technology, if you do a search, you can go from architectural technology, which is a 3-year advanced diploma program, and go on to complete your master's of architecture. So you're skipping the degree, the entire degree section, and going directly into your master's. You're saving time, you're saving money. And again, there's a compare feature on both of these. So if you scroll down, you can compare. That functionality is here as well. Okay. Next, we do have financial resources. So again, on just the Humber, if you go to Humber Polytechnic, admissions and financial aid, if you wanted more information, a lot of information is here as well. Again, so much information on the website, is just a matter of accessing it, like even a budget calculator, how you can get help working on campus, and also transferring options. So if you are a student who've done a diploma or degree at another institution, or even at Humber as well, there's information here for you. So for example, you can start searching for transfer credits. You can see this is transferring from another Ontario college or university, from out of province, or you want to use PLAR. So using your experience, your work experience, to actually gain credit into a program. And the great thing about this, it actually has really practical guides. This is a transfer credit database. For example, I've gone to Brock University, and I can put in my courses to actually see if any of them would transfer to Humber, right? Or if have a student have used this to transfer in the past. So really, really good information, lots of great opportunities, and just a wealth of information, a wealth of knowledge, and wealth of programs for you to choose from. We have anything from an apprenticeship to a degree and more, and everything in between. But this has been a lot of information. So I think one of the things that is always appropriate, and I think is always needed, is to actually hear from another student. So with me today, I mentioned at the beginning, I do have a special guest, and I'm going to have that special guest come on. And today I have Malik with me. So Malik, say hello.
Hi guys, hi. How are you guys?
So, Malik, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, I'm a second year practical nursing student at Humber North Campus,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it's the best course I've been in. Honestly, I love nursing.
Okay, good. Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about you, Malik. So why nursing? Like, was this something that you wanted to do as a child, or how did you come across the nursing program at Humber? And, how did that decision come about?
Okay, so before nursing, basically, as a youth,
Mm-hmm.
I had interest in like the medical field,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to be like either an army doctor, pediatrician. I
Mm-hmm.
just didn't really know at that time.
Right.
But I had family who, my father's side, who were nurses basically,
Mm-hmm.
and they're pushing me to say, hey, you should try out nursing out,
Right.
somewhere in the medical field, try it out, see if you like it or not,
Mm-hmm.
basically. So yeah.
So that you decided. So was Humber your only choice?
No, Humber was not my only choice. It was Seneca,
Mm-hmm.
George Brown, and
And
Humber.
Humber.
Yeah.
Okay. So why Humber?
Why Humber? Because closer, honestly. And
Good.
I had a family who went to Humber and they say it's the best college, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And have they been proven right? Like
Yeah.
you've been enjoying your time at Humber?
Yeah, I've been my time
Okay.
at Humber, honestly.
So we talked about the different types of, admission requirements. So high school, college, university, mature. So did you come directly from high school?
Yeah, I came directly from high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I came to Canada, I did high school in the Bahamas,
Okay.
from kindergarten to grade 12.
Okay.
And I came here, I did high school, grade 12
Mm-hmm.
at C.W. Jeffries,
Okay.
basically, in
In North
North
York.
York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I applied through OCAS and I was
Mm-hmm.
able to get through, basically.
Okay. So before you applied or after you applied, did you come to the campus? Did you do a campus tour? Did you come to open house?
I came to open house, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And when they had the events, I was there. Then I
Mm-hmm.
explored on my own, basically.
Okay. You didn't do the campus
No, I
tour.
didn't do everything. I'm an independent, I
Oh,
did my stuff on my own.
he's independent. Okay. Yeah. So transitioning from, well, you've done a few different transitions. So you've transitioned into the country, right?
Yeah.
Because, and that's one thing. You then transitioning to high school to post-secondary. So what are some of the challenges that you might have experienced, and what are some of the things that you've like maybe how you've overcome them?
I'll say things I've experienced like
Mm-hmm.
were difficult to me were like time management.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that back home things are like slow
Mm-hmm.
and coming over here is like fast paced. You
Pace,
gotta
yeah.
get this done, that done, basically. So I think time management is something that I struggle
Mm-hmm.
with. I mean, now I'm trying to get a hang of it,
Mm-hmm.
basically, dedicate myself more to my
Mm-hmm.
studies, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, I'm doing kind of well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, all
Yeah.
right. So, what supports have you actually taken advantage of? So, for example, you said that, time management is something that you're still working on.
Yeah.
I know, for example, we have like peer-assisted learning. They do sessions on time management. Have you explored any of those in the past?
No, but
Hmm.
I have tried PASS. The
Okay.
PASS,
What's past?
PASS stands for Peer Assisted Student Support Student Session, basically,
Okay.
where they had sessions for like specific programs like nursing
Mm-hmm.
and courses like anatomy or
Mm-hmm.
physiology, which are like kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
They had people who come to those sessions and basically record all the information, simplify it, and basically teach it to students who maybe didn't understand properly or weren't there for class
Mm-hmm.
and help them understand it, basically. So I've been to those couple of times. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
so like those are like peer assisted learning
yeah,
opportunities, and there's also peer tutoring as well.
yeah.
So lots of supports available. What supports have you actually accessed as a student here so far?
So one of the services I've accessed was the dental that we have here,
Okay,
basically. I got
and
like,
why did you access that? Because as it's part of your as a student, you actually get.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's free dental actually,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really good service.
Mm-hmm.
No problems whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah.
And actually, we have a sleep lounge basically, which I've been to like a lot, honestly, because I need
Okay.
sleep. I've been there
So
quite a
the
lot.
sleep lounge. So Malik is at the North Campus, right? This is where your program is. The practical nursing program is at the North Campus. So where is the sleep campus? So if anyone is coming on campus and they wanted to access the sleep campus, the sleep lounge, where is it?
It'll be near like the Emporium, which is like this
Mm,
cafeteria area.
mm-hmm,
Usually just a sign that displays where the sleep lounge is, like it's
mm-hmm,
in like a little corner
mm-hmm,
basically,
mm-hmm.
and it directs you there.
So is it for one person? Like, is there like
Many
different
people,
pods in there?
different pods, and then
Uh,
can go in there basically,
right?
as long as it's not full up.
Yeah.
But
Is
all
it
you need,
usually full?
yeah. So all you need to do to get in is like show them your student ID, and they just secure you a spot basically.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the earbuds and the
Okay.
face
They give you
covering if
really?
you want it, honestly, if you want it.
Really?
Yeah,
They actually provide that?
yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's like an hour rest, sleep.
So there's a time limit, so it's an hour?
Yeah.
So how do they keep track? Do they wake you up?
Yeah, they wake you
Oh,
up. They
do
have a
they?
little, yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah, I
Or you,
didn't know.
yeah.
Hmm. And is it like, so do you have to show your student card? Like, what do you have to do to get in?
So to get in, I would give them my student ID and
Hmm.
show them some sort of like ID, like a
Hmm.
driver's license, something like
Hmm.
that. And they just hold it there for
Hmm.
me a while. Then when it's time for you to go, you pick it up and
Hmm.
they take it
You bring it
basically.
back.
Yeah.
Okay. So any other resources that you've actually accessed?
So far I haven't,
Hmm.
but I'm interested in accessing the health services that we have for the
Okay.
doctors and nurses that we have on
Okay.
campus.
And when it comes to financial, did you apply for OSAP? Have you looked at into scholarships or bursaries or any of those pieces?
I applied for OSAP, yeah,
Okay.
and they funded me greatly, honestly. I
Okay.
appreciate
Good.
it.
Yeah.
And the bursaries, not really, honestly,
You
not really.
should. Yeah.
I should, yeah,
Yeah, you should. And scholarships as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I haven't really applied that
You
much.
should. So note to everybody, we have bursaries and scholarships. The difference, bursaries are based on financial need. So what you usually do, you fill it out, it takes 5 to 10 minutes, and you tell them your income, you tell them your expenses, and based on that, they will actually like you could potentially get a $500 bursary depending on your program,
Yeah,
750, $1,000 bursary, and then scholarships is based on merit. However, some scholarships are based on financial needs. So if you don't fill out the financial needs calculator, you're
yeah,
not getting access to all of them because they're not seeing that you actually might have a financial need.
yeah,
And when it comes to bursaries, scholarships, and grants, so even when you're taking OSAP, there's two parts to OSAP. OSAP, there's a part that you need to pay back, but there's
yeah.
the grant portion where that you don't
Don't
have
pay
to, you
back,
don't pay it
basically.
back, which is free money,
Yeah,
right? And if you wanted to, you can take the grant portion on its own, keep that money, right? And use it. Some people invest it, whatever it is, like
yeah,
you have that option. Another option is to take both, right? So because you need it, right?
mm,
So you sort of decide how you want to use this. And then there's bursaries, which is based on financial need, and then there's scholarships that's based on merit, right? So scholarships could be based on grades, it could be based on the program you're in. There's scholarships based on the fact that you're a women's volleyball player, or that you're from a certain country. So there's so many different scholarships available. Get as much free money as you can. That's
yeah.
that is my recommendation. Get as much free money as you can. So do you live nearby? Do you stay on residence? How do you get to school?
Okay, so I don't live in residence,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of live nearby, like 48 minutes about that
Okay.
time. So I just take the bus, basically, the
Okay.
96,
Okay.
and it brings me all the way here, basically.
Okay. So you're commuting to
Yeah,
school,
community school, yeah.
and you're also employed.
Yeah.
So can you tell us how are you able to be employed at Humber, and where are you employed, and what do you do?
Okay, so how I was able to be employed at Humber? Well, a friend said, hey, I know you need a job, so go to Career Connect, basically. It's a
Mhm.
Humber's job portal,
Okay.
and there has basically opportunities off campus and on campus,
Mm-hmm.
basically. It doesn't have to be specifically Humber, but there's other jobs outside of Humber,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I searched up jobs at Humber, and there was student ambassador, basically, which is
Mm-hmm.
a work study, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for domestic
So
students.
what is work study?
Work studies where you are given like what you would call it, it would be like a some type of permit basically where they give you access to study, not study, sorry, access to work basically on campus basically.
Okay, so the great thing about a work study program is that you can study and work at the same time.
Yeah,
And with us, like if you're working on a work study program, it's going to be working around your schedule.
yeah,
So you're not having to worry about, am I do I have to go to work or do I have to go to school, because it
yeah.
actually works with your schedule. How much? What's the maximum?
24 hours
24 hours
a
per
week.
week,
Yeah.
right?
And it's very flexible basically. So in case maybe exam or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they're able to switch you out for whoever
Mm-hmm.
and make your accommodations
Yeah,
basically.
try to make it work for you. So tell us about your work study job and what are some of the advantages of that work study job?
Okay,
Not trying to, you know.
so I'm a student ambassador basically.
Uh-huh.
And advantages I've taken was connecting with people basically in different fields, like different programs basically,
Sure.
and making more friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Study times, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes there's times where I just have nothing to do and I'm
Mm-hmm.
able to study, on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And learning more about the campus actually
Mm-hmm.
through this job actually.
Mm-hmm.
and the services that we offer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been able to, meet a lot of people. You do campus tours. You do call campaigns. You're the one greeting them at the front. You are giving presentations at time. You're on YouTube at
Yeah.
times as well. So lots of different opportunities there. So what is something you wish you knew before coming to post-secondary? And you're like, if I had known this, it would have been an even smoother transition for me.
I feel like what I should have known, um, like that we had a site where you could find listed programs,
Yeah.
pathways, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I really never know about that. I just say, hey, nursing, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I know this now, I'm like, okay, I could branch from practical nursing to bachelor of science nursing.
Mm-hmm.
So in total, that'll be like 4 years
Mm-hmm.
basically. That's something I wish I knew in advance. But hey, it's not too late, and
It isn't, and you're actually saving money,
yeah,
right? Because by doing the practical nursing program, you are actually, and then pathwaying into the degree,
mhm,
you're actually saving money and you're not losing any time
yeah,
at all,
yeah.
at all, which is awesome. Um, uh, I don't know if there are any questions that are coming in the chat, which is fine, but if you have questions, please feel free to add them to the chat either for myself or for Malik. But Malik, can you can you tell us a little bit about the practical nursing program and because I think sometimes when people think of nursing, they think it's just like one dimensional, right? They maybe
Yeah.
think of a nurse in a hospital. Can you tell me a little bit more about your program? Maybe some of I don't know if you've done a placement as yet or where you hope to do the placement, but just a little bit more about your program.
So nursing, you could work at a clinic,
Mhm.
hospital, long-term care home,
Mhm.
working with elderly people,
Mhm.
different places basically.
Mhm.
And I haven't done placements yet,
Okay.
but in my second semester, I'll be doing working at the LTC, which stands for long-term care home,
Care.
basically,
Okay.
under supervision of my instructors, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be able to learn about not learn, but like perfect my skills of like basically doing assessments like
Mhm.
hygiene checklists,
Mhm.
making the bed, stuff like that,
Mhm.
basically,
Mhm.
and distributing medication under supervision of my professor.
Yes.
I cannot stress that. That is a very important thing.
Okay.
Under supervision, basically. Yeah.
Okay. So in the program so far, what has been the hardest course for you?
I would say Right. Anatomy, actually anatomy,
Mm-hmm.
anatomy.
Okay.
So usually we have the class.
Mm-hmm.
It's anatomy is split in two basically, the class part
Mm-hmm.
and like the lab part basically.
Okay.
And you have to know certain parts of the body basically, the skull, the mastoid
Mm-hmm.
process, different parts of the body basically. And when it comes to testing, basically, you have to make sure you write it like basically pronounce it, write it down properly
Mm-hmm.
basically. So you can't miss certain words.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like maybe if you didn't spell mastoid properly,
Mm-hmm.
you messed out one letter,
Mm-hmm.
you get like 5% off,
Deducted.
deducted.
Yeah.
But you missed two words, wrong,
Mhm.
completely wrong.
Right. Because you need to actually know the name of it.
You need to know the name of it so you don't make any mistakes giving
Yes.
information to like the doctor or other
Yes.
nurses
Or
basically.
even like when it comes to medication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
medication, that's
Mm-hmm.
really
Yeah.
big. Medication, you cannot mess it
You
up
cannot mess
basically.
it up.
Because we are big on like making sure that everything's in order basically.
Mm-hmm.
Although we are humans, there's things where we're able to like prevent, where we
Mm-hmm.
have people who check over what you've reported down or documented,
Mm-hmm.
go over again, make sure it's the
Mm-hmm.
right person you're giving the medication
Mm-hmm.
to, stuff like
Okay.
that basically. Yeah.
Okay. So I've heard that pharmacology for some people is the hardest. So that's what I was thinking that you were going to say, but
Yeah,
you didn't say
there's more than
pharmacology.
one, okay? There's more than one.
Okay.
Pharmacology.
Okay, tell me another one.
Pharmacology.
Okay, what is pharmacology?
It's basically where you learn more about drugs basically.
Okay.
Um how they affect the body, different types of drugs, and
Mm-hmm.
what they're used for, basically, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And you have to learn about like calculating the amount to give
Mm-hmm.
to like an infant
Mm-hmm.
or to an adult, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to take account of like the weight size
Mm-hmm.
and
Like
not
the
to
weight of the person.
person, basically,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
to make sure you're giving them the right amount of dosage,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Yes, yeah. So when we're looking at admission requirements, sometimes people are wondering like, well, why do I need English? Why do I need math? Why do I need chemistry? Why do I need certain things? Do you find that actually having those in high school?
Yeah, those are important. Those are important. English,
Need them?
communication,
Yes, yeah.
chemistry, biology.
Yes.
You have labs where you need to have like basic understanding of certain like chemicals
Mhm.
and the reaction with other chemicals, basically. Math,
For like drug
yeah,
interactions.
drug interaction, math,
Mhm.
calculating, getting out right amount of dosage, stuff like that, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if for new students coming in or new students looking at Humber,
Yeah.
because you said you came to open house and you chose Humber because
Suppose.
it's closer.
Yeah.
And the fact that some of your family had gone here, so word of mouth, which is for a lot of our students, that's what happens. What was your impression when you came to open house? Did you go to open house just at Humber or elsewhere?
I went to the North Campus basically.
Did you go to because you said you applied to George Brown and
I
Seneca?
didn't bother honestly.
Oh, really?
Because like George Brown, I
Uh-huh.
think they had a location at downtown.
Yeah, waterfront,
I
I
have
think.
no interest going downtown. Sorry. Seneca, I just couldn't bother. Like when my parents or family said
Mm.
Humber,
Mhm.
Humber it was, you know?
Yes, yeah.
No thought of like the rest
Anyways,
basically.
yeah.
Just
So you did
kinda-
so, but you still applied, but you came to the open house to actually
Yeah.
make sure it was a good fit for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have open house coming up. And not only do we have open house coming, but you're actually one of our tour guides. So Malik is actually one of our tour guides. So if you are coming on tour at the North Campus,
Yeah.
you're usually at the North Campus. Are
North
you at Lake
Campus.
as well? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But usually at North Campus. So you might actually see Malik, one of our tour guides. So what are some like when people are coming? So let's start with this. When people are coming and they're doing tours, what are some of the questions that they have?
So far,
Mhm,
questions about like faculties, like
mhm,
where the faculty is located, basically. Stuff like admissions and financial inquiries, basically. Like where would they go to for financial inquiries, basically. Stuff
Yeah.
like that, basically.
Yeah. So those are the things they want to know, but what are some of the things they should know?
They should know that when some of our services are free,
Okay. Like what?
like our health services, basically. Um, group studies like we have with BSSC, which stands for Black Student Support and Engagement Center, and Indigenous Education and Engagement Center, sorry.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
those are free. You're able to go there,
Mhm.
partake, learn more, and
Mhm.
take advantage of what we have to
Mhm.
offer, basically.
What about the gym?
The gym? Oh yeah, the gym is free. It's covered by tuition, basically. I go there a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You don't see that? You don't? No? Okay. But yeah, I go there basically, hang out, pump weights, basically.
Uh-huh.
I don't go to cardio side, but the weight room, that's where I'm at, basically.
That's where you're at. And then because you also have the gym. So like say sometimes like if there's no varsity sports or any events going on, you can access it. Have you access?
Yes, I have access.
Yeah.
So we have intramurals
Mhm.
where you're able to play against people in Humber basically for competition, fun,
Mhm.
make connections, stuff like that, mingle. And there's like a schedule where they have different type of sports at certain times basically. And it changes every semester. So for example, volleyball, badminton, indoor soccer, basketball, you name it, cricket actually. Surprisingly, I have some
Yeah.
cricket in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Quite popular.
Yeah, you can find those stuff there basically when they have the schedule presented for those days. Yeah.
But they also have excursions. So I know that they've done things like horseback riding and what is it when you're climbing
Uh,
rock
climbing.
rock climbing and all these different things. So there's all these different activities that you can take part of. One of my favorite spots at the North Campus is the Arboretum. Do you utilize the Arboretum at all?
I've went to the Arboretum just to watch the rugby players play,
Oh, yeah.
with some friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to tell a little bit about the Arboretum? Because when you come to the North Campus, you see this really big building, and it looks as if that's the only thing that's there. But behind us, behind the campus, is this beautiful 250-acre parkland.
Yeah.
Right? So you see deers, you see rabbits, like we have different like ponds, and you see turtles and you see fish, and it's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
So what I know about the Arboretum is that it is 250 acres of land, and it's managed by the City of Toronto, Toronto Regulatory Authority Conservation, basically, and our Humber horticulture students, basically. So they take care of the Arboretum, basically, do what they need to do, basically, and also learn at the same time. There's wildlife corridors, sorry, meadows, forests, stuff like that, basically. I haven't really gone that in depth because I need a partner. I'm not going by myself. But yeah, it's pretty good, honestly. It's good to see when summer,
Yes, yeah.
it's beautiful,
Beautiful.
honestly. It's
It's
really beautiful,
beautiful.
yeah.
It's beautiful. So just one more thing. So open house is coming up November 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. What are some recommendations you have for people on why they should be coming to open house?
You should be coming to open house to learn more about the program specifically,
Uh-huh.
like get information, make connections, make sure this is what you want, basically, this is what you need, basically, and just assimilate yourself into Humber, and learn more.
Yes, yeah. So we do have campus tours happening regularly, but if you wanted to come to open house, you'll be able to do a campus tour then as well. We do also have these mature student sessions that are taking place, and we'll be putting that in the chat for you. Any last words of encouragement or anything that you want to say that maybe we haven't covered?
Last thing, little statement I have to say is that, Humber has been a home for me, basically. I made a lot of friends with different programs, basically, computer programming, you name it. I made a lot of friends, basically. And when I first came here, I wasn't sure,
Mhm.
you know, but over time, I gradually warmed up to the campus. Hey, it's a really good campus, They have a lot of stuff going on, and I enjoy it. There's times where they have events like almost every day, honestly. Not even knowing there, and like you could go there for free, get food, learn more about culture, Indian culture, Black culture, stuff like that, basically. So I feel like students just take advantage of that, come, enjoy your time, and just learn at the same time,
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Well, that's it. I think Malik wrapped it up very, very well. So thank you very much. This has been great. If you do have questions, feel free to add them in the chat. Again, we can be reached at student.recruitment@humber.ca. If you want to book a campus tour, you can go on our website. You can book a campus tour with Malik or one of our other ambassadors. If you want to have the events, the events page, hopefully we can put that in the chat for you as well. But lots of opportunities to come see us. And I think when people come and they see us, they come and visit us, that's when they really, really, really know. You don't know about Humber until you've actually come and visited Humber.
Yeah.
So definitely come and visit us. Use the apply in us, get your money back, your application fee back, get it back.
Money is good.
But free money is good, and make sure you apply for bursaries and scholarships.
Yeah,
Yeah, money is good. Free money is even better.
Yeah.
Legal free money is even better. So, so, so make sure you come visit us. Apply if you're not able to visit us. Use the apply in us. If you're thinking of applying to Humber, definitely use that as well. We would love to see you here. Malik will be here. We'll be here. So we're part of the recruitment team who's putting this event on.
Yep.
We're happy to see you. So again, North Campus, Lakeshore Campus, and IGS. Registration has open. Humber.ca/open house. You can register there. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you at Humber soon. Bye.
Bye.
Great.
Okay.
Yay.